Hey friends, welcome into my channel. My name is Jackie Alves, and today we're going to be talking about color correcting and also bringing balance to redness, broken blood vessels, dark spots, all of the things that we've got going on our skin, how to really address those without piling on a bunch of product and just bring a beautiful brightening level to our skin. I'm also going to do a really pretty kind of mauve smoky eye using one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes, the Bare Essentials by ColourPop, and we'll use a couple different colors to achieve a beautiful kind of plum, easy, smoky look. Really simple, you guys, so I know you'll be able to duplicate it. We're going to talk about things like a face oil, and I'm going to use two different shades of foundation. Right now, I've got some on this side and some on this side that are two different shades. One is an olive undertone and one is a really beautiful golden undertone. And I'm going to show you how you can use either one to bring balance and bring that beautiful complexion into harmony, so you'll feel like your skin looks beautiful and radiant again. So stick around. I know you're going to love this one. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the flip side. Okay, so let's get it together here. I started with just a little bit of my favorite moisturizer in conjunction with makeup. It's pretty lightweight for this time of year. I love it. It's really kind of brightening. It's got some brightening elements to it and some lifting and firming, of course. But right now I'm going to use this Royal Defy Antioxidant Face Oil. I really feel dull sometimes, and it doesn't matter like what I put on my face. Sometimes I feel like I want to slap oil on it. I don't know if you ever feel that way, but I'm gonna just put a little bit of this on because the way it dries is beautiful. I don't feel greasy. It's not that type of a face oil, but it leaves my skin looking luminous. And it's healthy. It's got white truffle extract and royal jelly in it, all kinds of good stuff. So if you've got a face oil that you love, which I know there's a lot of good ones to choose from, try using it right before you do your makeup and see if that makes a difference if you're suffering from that kind of dulling effect like I am. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and use a little bit of primer and I'll be right back. Okay, I used a silicone-based primer and I'm just putting it on my eyelids and the rest of my face because I like the luminosity of the face oil, but I really want the primer to hold that foundation, especially on my eyelids. Okay, so I've got Golden Tan first. Now this one is really got a lot of like gold in it. It's really going to counteract all of the red in my skin, but I also want to try Natural Tan that's more of an olive, so it's got those green undertones, because sometimes I feel like, you know, what's opposite of green on the color wheel is purple, blah blah, all the makeup artist stuff. Regardless, I want to see the difference in this gold or this green kind of olive undertone, so let's check it out together. So I have Golden Tan first. This has a lot of gold in it, obviously Golden Tan, but it's a bright level. So it's not like a deep gold where it's gonna make me look super tanned or a deeper skin tone. It's actually kind of brightening. So I'm just doing it on half of my face. I've got it on this half of my face. I even brought it down my neck and half of my chest, so you can see it's corrected really well. And I feel like the level of brightness is really nice. But now I'm gonna use the Natural Tan, which has more of an olive undertone to it. And that's not really easy to find, you guys. The olive undertones, you can always find a good warm undertone because I feel like everything is orange lately, but those olives are not always easy to find. So I'm gonna use a little bit of this one on the other side and we'll see the difference. And I feel like the green in this will help correct what I feel is it's next level red. Sometimes I feel like it's almost purple. And typically when you're color correcting, you would use green to correct out those really dark reds. Like if you've got a really bad pimple or something, the green really neutralizes that. That's the word I'm looking for, neutralize. And now go ahead and bring it down onto my chest where I am super red, for the love of Pete. And you know, I feel like obviously it's making me look a little more tan, but that's okay. I'm cool with that, you know, a little more tan. Maybe I'm just feeling tropical. I want to look like I've been on an island, maybe. Not a deserted island, but you know, on a tropical island. really bad hula with a makeup brush, but whatever. All right, I'm gonna get it on my eyelid. You guys do not forget your eyelids because we've got a lot of discoloration there on the top. Remember, not putting a bunch underneath because I'm gonna go back with a brightening concealer. Oh, you know that Smashbox concealer I've been using a little bit lately by Becca. I think they did a collab with Smashbox. It has been super popular. Yeah, I've had great results with it. It's very brightening, but not necessarily concealing though. So if you've got dark circles, maybe opt for something with more coverage. But anyway, back to this. I feel like this gave better coverage for the red, corrected it a little bit better. And I definitely feel like I'm more tan on this side, but not necessarily in a bad way. And I'm just kind of taking the dry brush and buffing everything. I like them both. I cannot choose. So I'm going to hope that you make some comments and let me know what you think, because I do value your opinion. Especially those of you that are kind and don't say rude things like, "Are you a man?" I don't know if you guys have noticed, some of the people stop and comment and accuse me of being a man. I'm like, whatever you say. I'm half man. I mean, my dad was one. My grandpa used to always say that. He would say something about being a girl and he would say, "What? I'm half girl. My mom was one." All right, but I think I could get away with either one. Let's see how it looks with everything else. So let's trust that process and bring it together. Okay, right now I'm just gonna use my Graftobian. This is a professional makeup powder. This is an HD powder, but they're pretty common, and I'm almost positive like NYX and Elf both have a really affordable HD powder as well. And I feel like they're almost as good. Like this one's definitely a little more expensive being a pro product, but you know, if it's just for you and you're not doing like the bride of a super important wedding, then, you know, just go ahead and go with like the Elf or the NYX brand. Don't feel the need to spend a fortune on an HD powder. They're just too common. Okay, so let's go ahead and powder this down. And I've got my Real Techniques brush because it's really lightweight and it spreads this powder around without moving the product. If you've got a heavy powder brush, sometimes it will pull your product around. So I work too hard to get that placed in the right spots. I don't want to move it. I just like them both. I feel like I just look a little more tan over here, but I think they both have corrected really well. I'm like, what do you think, friend? All right, I'm gonna use my Beauty Bar Contour Palette, and the lightest shade is just gonna be that good old number 3 right here and right here, keeping it simple. So I'm really doing a little bit more of a bronzer effect rather than a sculpting technique, because I'm really just wanting to get some good, like a good amount of makeup on with these 2 shades and see if there is much difference other than just I'm a little more tan on one side, and see what it looks like with my color products, right? So just whatever favorite bronzer you have, do the number 3, and it just makes it really easy. You can do it even with a blush brush. You could even do it with a bronze or copper blush. Don't feel like you have to have some crazy contour palette. You guys, I bought a contour palette. It had a blush and contour in it it was a Smashbox. It was 50 bucks and it was small. It was smaller than this one. I was so disappointed when I opened that thing up. I actually returned it, and I don't know that I've ever returned a cosmetic product, but when I opened it, it just was not what I was expecting. And I thought, $50? This is insane. Like, this one's less than $50 and it's bigger than my head. So I'm just saying, I wasn't comfortable with it. It made me quite uncomfortable. All right, so bringing that contour down my neck to create a shadow, because God knows I need to push this turkey gobble neck away from your attention. I have not had any Botox or lip filler or anything done. And you guys, this has really started to bother me lately. But I'm trying to not think about it. I keep telling myself, maybe when you're 60, but not yet. You're too young to get a facelift or neck job or whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with some really beautiful kind of neutral mauve-y shades for my eyeshadow. And I'm gonna use like a lighter mauve and then a little bit deeper, and then I may flank the outer corners with a darker brown, or this one. Actually, this one's really pretty too. This is a darker mauve as well. But you guys, this is that ColourPop Bare Essentials palette that I've used a couple times recently. I got it at that makeup class I went to in Las Vegas. I think you know I already shared that with you guys. I went to this really fantastic masterclass in Las Vegas. I was so excited, just not necessarily to take a makeup class. I've been doing makeup for 33 years, but I just wanted to be around other women in the industry. So right now I'm gonna start with the lightest shade on my entire eyelid, from lashes to brows and side to side. And this is why I was stressing, make sure you get that primer, foundation, and powder on your eyelid, not just to correct any darkness, but it also will hold your eyeshadow really well too. So just sweeping this lightly on my entire eyelid. But anyway, I was at that master class, and connecting with other women in the beauty industry was so nice. I was like, my sisters, my people. It was so nice. That's how I feel about you guys here on my channel though too. I'm like, my people. So I've got this kind of mauve plum, my second shade, I'm gonna put right here. And I'm just going for a nice, simple, classic eyeshadow. I'm gonna bring it up towards my brow. Let me get in closer for you. And now this mauve is really gonna pop my blue eyes. You guys know that I love me some warm shades. I love my earth tones. But when I feel like getting crazy, when I feel like getting jiggy with it, na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na, getting jiggy with it. You know, when I feel like getting jiggy with it, it's gonna get weird in here. But also, I might go out of the box of my earth tones and really pop my blue eyes with some mauve. I just had some massive flashbacks from when I used to see that video on MTV. Did you guys hear that MTV is no more? Maybe I misunderstood, but from what I understand, there's no MTV anymore. And I thought, yeah, so much for video killed the radio star, because there's no video anymore either. But you know, they had stopped really with making music videos anyway. I don't even remember the last good video I saw. I don't even remember the last time I would sit and watch music videos anyway, but God, that was such a great time. Do you guys remember when MTV was brand new? And I feel like it was like that song, I wanna be your sledgehammer. I feel like that was one of the first videos ever, but maybe it was Dire Straits and that weird song about microwave ovens and color TVs, something. You guys know what I mean. Maybe that was the first video on MTV. If you know what was the first video on MTV, please comment below. But anyway, do you remember where you were the first time you ever saw MTV? Because I do. And I remember my mom was having a fit. I think I was only like 11. And my mom was like, you're not gonna watch that. I know what those videos are really about. My mom was a little overprotective. For good reason. I mean, I totally get it now that I'm on the other side. But man, it was rough when I was a kid. She was crazy sometimes. God, I loved her. All right, so sadness of video era past. And now we'll move back into eyeshadow. I feel like I've got my right side a little darker than my left, so let me just add in a little bit more here. Now remember, when you've got a hooded lid, we're gonna bring it up, 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 up. There we go. Now I wanna take a smaller brush and add that darker mauve on bottom, because I like to do this on bottom rather than eyeliner. It just gives a softer look, not as harsh, lasts longer for me. And now I'm gonna go on top with probably a black eyeliner and then use that darker eyeshadow shade that I showed you. Black eyeliner, thicker on the outside. And I'm bringing it into a tiny little point for a wing. Make it disappear about halfway over. Totally into the lashes. Got a little out of control there. Just wipe it away. And as you can see, it's a little bit of a fat triangle out here. So it's one of our favorite techniques here on this channel, in case you haven't heard. It is the fat triangle technique, because out here on the outer corners, it's just what I said, a fat triangle. But it'll give you a little bit of a wing on the outer corner, but also it brings the angle of the eye up. So where your lid is gonna come down, the fat triangle will bring it up. And yeah, we're at the point where we want everything up, right? Like bring it all up. For the love of Pete, bring it up. Gravity, get off of me. You can tell I've had beef with gravity lately. Big beef. Okay, now I've got my magnifying mirror and I've got that darker brown eyeshadow that we talked about earlier that's in that palette, and I'm just gonna use it to smudge this fat triangle with a tiny little smudger brush. And I made a really great smoky liner, and I'll bring it into the crease just a little bit. So it's almost like we've got a wrap that's going up and then in. Let me get a little bit more. We'll do this other side. Same thing, I'm just really buffing it, smoking it out, which is great because I had some speed bumps there. You could see where I was dragging my eyeliner along and I was getting some speed bumps from it. No bueno, I'm telling you, no bueno. Right on top of that eyeliner, smudging it out. And now bring a little bit into the crease like the other side. All right, and it doesn't really matter if you feel like you're kind of getting out of the lines, or you know, maybe one side is more accentuated than the other, because when we use our concealer, we will clean it up. If you've got fallout right here, it's no big deal. Again, for the 8 bazillionth time, that's why I like to wait on the concealer, so I can clean anything up that, you know, got a little jacked in the process. So let me darken up my brows and do some mascara and we'll get to it. All right, I darkened my brows with a little brow powder, did my mascara, and now we can move along to do my favorite eye serum, the Caffeine eye serum mixed with my concealer. I'm always looking for new hacks for, you know, to keep our under eyes looking fresh and all that jazz, but I always come back to this one. Like, I try other stuff, and honestly, there's a lot of great concealers and techniques out there, but I just really, really love the caffeinated eye serum, regardless of brand, you guys. If you've got a favorite serum, and I don't, like, if you want to use an eye serum, it's okay, but I really say one with caffeine in it, because not only does it help reduce puffiness and dark circles, I'm just putting a little bit of the serum on real quick, but it also, it leaves this luminous look with your concealer. So check me out. I'm gonna add a little, you know what? Let me get the lighter one. I always struggle, do I wanna go lighter with my concealer? But I'm gonna use a little bit of the lighter one. So I wanna add that concealer to the eye serum because it gets really luminous and it stays that way for a really long time, you guys. So let me not knock everything over. So I'm gonna mix eye serum and concealer on the back of my hand. Just a tiny, tiny bit of that concealer. I'm sorry, of the serum. More concealer than serum. And I've got a small fluffy concealer brush by Real Techniques that I love. I'm drying it off on the back of my hand so that it's not too wet, because I like it to stay fluffy. and then slice up my eyeshadow. Sharpen it up, clean it up, do all the brightening, but man, it feels so good. So like I said, regardless of brand, I highly recommend the eye serum have caffeine in it, not just like, oh, this is hyaluronic acid, or oh, this is whatever, fill in the blank eye serum. But there is something really key about the caffeinated ones. And they shouldn't cost a fortune. I mean, they shouldn't be over $40, but something like this, a bottle this big is going to last you a very long time because I just used the smallest amount. So if you have to invest like 30, 35 bucks, close to 40, don't feel bad if you can afford it. Look at it as a good investment because it will last you a long time. That's sometimes what I think about. If a product is fairly spendy, I'm like, okay, how long is this gonna last me? Like that Smashbox under eye brightener I mentioned earlier, that was 33 bucks, but I barely use any of it. So I know that thing's gonna be around for a while. He's gonna be hanging around till the cows come home. So I'm gonna use my foundation brush and just buff a little bit here. Make sure everything's coming together really nice. I don't know what the heck I had over here on my face, some kind of globber. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bring in my blush now. Normally I would have already done it, but I wanted to bring in a lot of concealer to bring that correction. I had just so much red going on under there, so I knew I was gonna bring my concealer pretty far down. So now I'll go back in and add some blush. And I'm of course gonna mix an orange and a pink. I don't like to go too far to one side or the other. And just slapping it right on top of where I contoured. And bring it in. And I do like the warmth of a peachy blush to really warm up my face. To bring in some gold elements, it helps color correct a little bit more than like fuchsia or mauve blush. It's just, it adds to that kind of weird gray zombie look that I don't like, that I'm trying to get rid of. Now at this point, if you feel like you got a little too much blush on, it's okay, just buff it out. You guys, I was just in Nashville, like right when I got done with Vegas, I went to Nashville to go teach a group of women, and it was fantastic. I had a great time, but I wanted to look good. You know, when you're in front of a group and you're back away from people, I like to get my makeup done just a little bit darker than normal. So, you know, you could see my features, just picture like face or stage makeup, right? So I'm getting a little bit darker. Later, I looked at myself and I said, what the flip? Why am I like this? I had so much blush on. I just, sometimes I get a little excited, or if I'm nervous. Do you remember the movie Steel Magnolias where Daryl Hannah was doing hair and she was like, when I get nervous, it gets poofy. Like the more nervous she was, the bigger the hair was getting. She was a hairstylist in Steel Magnolias. That's what I feel like. It was just getting poofy. The more nervous I am, the more makeup I wear. Okay, so I do see, and this is like a ridiculous cut top, but I do see I can definitely bring in a little bit more color correcting around here. But I mean, so far so good. I'm gonna use a really pretty lip liner I got from NYX, and I like this brand, super affordable, but this is kind of a raisin color. I don't know what it's called, so I'm gonna actually put on my glasses and find out for you, because I know you're gonna probably wanna check this one out. It's called, all right, it's called SMLL30 Los Angeles. So I think the shade is Los Angeles. What the heck? It's a weird name. I don't know, you guys. Anyway, NYX, great stuff. Weird names. Okay, let's get these lips lined, and you know, I'm gonna do an overline. I feel like it's a pretty good kind of raisin shade. It's not super long wear, but it's pretty good. It's a great shade and it's super affordable. So, you know, we love that. So now I'm gonna go in and use Absolute Nude right in the middle. Just a tiny amount. And honestly, with a lip liner like that, you can use just about any shade. I mean, it's so neutral. You could go with a brick, you could go with a pink. I used Absolute Nude, which is really on the warm side, but it looks good. I like it. I'm gonna go ahead and gloss over it though. All right, I'm just using a clear, like no color at all gloss. Nothing special, so whatever your favorite gloss is, I just like that extra moisture and shine when I do this type of lip that's kind of matte. I want it to feel good on my lips, but I need a little extra shine. It's just how I roll. All right, I'm gonna finish this off with a Dewy Finish setting spray. And you guys, I know that e.l.f. has a really good primer that's the Power Grip primer, and I saw that they have a Power Grip setting spray, and I tried it, and it's just like this one. It gives you this like really cool kind of dewy finish that looks kind of shiny but not oily. I really like it. It's a good healthy glow kind of finish. And for my setting spray, got myself a brand new fan finally. I couldn't believe I lost my other fan in Vegas. Like, at least that's all I lost though, you know, really. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this. That was a lot, kind of extreme. It's so nice to have my fan back. All right, so you guys, I wait for that moment. It's so funny after the setting spray. I love throwing my fan, and it's a good thing I get ready here, because can you imagine if I did that at home? I'd wind up knocking everything over. Mr. Alves has this little cabinet that's sitting on the side that has his colognes on it, because I just buy him too many colognes, and I would probably knock them all over and break them. All right, really simple, kind of classic hairdo. I'm gonna do a gold earring, knocking over everything. It's just how I roll. Got a really pretty gold earring here. So let's get these slapped on. You know, accessories can really set off the whole look anyway. Okay, I got on both earrings, so you know, that's good. Keep your face balanced, keep your head balanced. But also, what about my skin? I feel like either one of these look nice. Let me come in a little closer. I feel like it's balanced my skin really well, but look, I didn't use a color corrector. I don't have a bunch of stuff all over my face. I just used my foundation to do the correcting and the balancing for me. So I hope that this helped, because it can get really confusing out there with so many products, so many choices. And I hope that this will empower you to look for foundation shades that will do what you need them to do. Not just cover your face, not just try to find a match, but do what you need. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today on my channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out my members only area. You can join for as little as $2.99. And we also have some upper levels where you can have access to private Zoom meetings with me every month and first looks at some of my videos. So check out those other levels as well. Please know that I love and appreciate you, and I'll see you back here soon. Bye everyone.